It's like, what? What do you want? Hey, update. Leave me the fuck alone. Alright, we're gonna try this again. And you're gonna hear it all. I'm not doing it. It's all staying in. I am not starting over. I want everybody to hear everything that just happened.
The tomfuckery?
Yeah. I'm not sure how it happened or what. You don't get to hear the intro that we heard because we heard it before. Just didn't start recording. And we're back. There's that Monday statement I just made. Fucking definitely goddamn Monday.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, okay. So, I think you and I think we talked a little bit about last week how you and I have kind of been both just going through some motions, you know, feeling the effects of life, shit and shit. I think it was last week, might have been Thursday or Friday, at work. One of the guys was like trying to figure out the logistics of getting me to work, get back on Saturdays every month, and I was like,
Not gonna happen.
I was like, dude, I can't do it. I got my son. I got this podcast. It's all very important to me. I can't do it. And he walked away. And then, like 10 minutes later, I walked outside and he was talking to some of the other guys about it. And as I'm walking to my tow truck, he goes, "Yo, I'm just trying to get it figured out." And I'm like, I turn around and he goes, "The Saturday thing." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe just like one Saturday a month." And I was like, "Dude, I can't do it. I cannot. I'm going to drain myself. I don't have time to get stuff done at home already. My son's stuff is coming up, more important stuff."
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do it. I'm trying to get, and I don't know if it was like in that moment, it was kind of accidental, but I was like, I'm trying to get out of this shit. And he was like, "Trying to get out of what?" I'm like, I don't want to do this forever, man. I don't want to, I'm not here to stay. I can't do this to myself.
Yeah.
And
The body won't hold up for that long.
he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's not just that. Like, ever since I started working, and when I got to that point in my life, I just never understood how people just settle and just stop. Like,
100%.
like progress.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about this a lot, but it really hit me in that moment. Like, no, abso-fucking-lutely not. Do I just want to settle here? I'm 35. The fuck would I want to do this for another 20 years and just end my life?
Yep.
I don't want to do it. And I think it kind of threw him off, and I didn't mean for that. But I was just being honest. Like, I got to change. Things have to change now, or they're never going to.
Yeah.
And I refuse to settle for that.
Well, that was like today. One of our good friends, you know, or one of our mutual friends, trying to get me to go to work with him, and he was like, I told him, I was like, with what you do, I'm not going back to work on Saturdays. And
Oh yeah.
he was like, well, it'll only be one Saturday a month. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like, he's like, well, it's good money. And I'm like, it's less money than what I'm making now, and it's not guaranteed money.
I was gonna say, starting off, it's probably not good money, because some of those guys are like 30 years in,
Oh, yeah.
and now they make good money.
Yeah.
But it's taken time.
Well, and he was like, well, there's this one gal that was making like 9 to 10 a month. And I was like, yeah. But you got to realize, women in that industry usually do better because people trust them more.
Absolutely, yeah.
They expect a guy to be trying to take advantage of them. A woman, they don't expect that from.
Right, yeah.
So
They're a little bit less robotic, and if I'm being honest, they look nicer.
100%.
They are a lot more approachable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, when I was selling cars, I definitely preferred to go to the female service writer when I needed help with things.
Yeah.
than-
They're nicer. Nobody wants to walk up to the glass door and see my big ass sitting behind the desk like, no. Down, Shrek, down.
Don't care.
So that's the whole other thing too, is like, I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing, and if I thought that there was a plausible way for me to switch jobs and continue making the money that I'm making now, then I would consider it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm rooted just like you are.
Well, the other thing with like mine is people don't see a lot of the behind the scenes of where my job's benefits come in,
Right.
because we don't only have just our pay and our health plan.
Yeah.
We have a lot of other crap that we get
Yeah.
just for working there.
I was thinking about this actually the other day because we had talked about some of the little perks that your job gives you.
Yeah.
Just like even if it's just the drink stuff and stuff like that. And I was thinking about it at my work too because like you don't think about that, but if you work at a shit company, they don't provide half the shit that we get.
Oh no, not at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the little perks really step in for a lot of the big stuff too. Just like you, what do they give you? A bunch of Gatorade shit? What'd you say?
Well, they give us like your powdered Gatorade. They give us the liquid IVs, but even aside from that, like we have a recognition system, also for like if you go above and beyond or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Your peers or even your bosses and stuff can give you points on this recognition system, and you can literally like there's all-inclusive vacations and shit that you can purchase on there. There's I use it to buy all my tools at home. Like I can get Home Depot gift cards, Lowe's gift cards, stuff like that, and I'll get $100 Lowe's gift card like once every couple of months, and go and buy another power tool.
See, and that shit really stands out. It's the little things like that that really stand out, you know? And, like, we get fucking benefits on the cars that come in and out of there.
Yeah.
If we need transportation or somebody close to us needs transportation, we can find a badass fucking car or truck, and he'll give it to us for dirt cheap. You know? And all the shit that comes out of the cars and things like that, it just... We get prime powder, like the prime... Yeah. We get those in powder form. I get that every day. I don't have to drink shitty fucking water. It's just, yeah, it's the same thing, man. And I think that stuff, I don't want to start over new when I'm trying to make my exit strategy now. Why the fuck am I going to start over somewhere new and sacrifice all that?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I mean, the company you're with is extremely willing to work with you on this stuff.
110%, yeah.
There's no reason to leave something like that,
right,
where you're making the good money, and they're willing to work with you to help you better yourself. And that's what I like about my company also, because my boss has literally said to all of us, I don't care if what is best for you is here or somewhere else. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want to see you do what is best for you and your family.
Right.
He's like, if we need to work on an exit strategy, you know, hey, I might tell you, hey, I need like 2 months before you can leave so that I can get somebody to fill your shoes.
Good shoes, yeah.
Yeah. Then, you know, as long as you're willing to work with me, I'll work with you. And, I mean, we'll make something work. And
see, that's the kind of relationship you want to keep, too.
Yeah, 100%.
You can always go back to that for whatever you need.
Well, it's like when I left to Ohio, as soon as the boss found out that I was moving back to Arizona, because my stepdad worked there at the time.
Were you there before you left Ohio? Yeah. Left for Ohio?
I worked there for a year before I went to Ohio.
No shit.
And so as soon as the boss found out that I was moving back from my stepdad, the boss was like, you have him call me immediately.
I need to talk to him.
And so I called him. I was like, hey, you wanted me to call? And he's like, I heard you're coming back. And I was like, yeah. He's like, are you coming back to work? And I was like, I mean...
In theory.
I can.
I need a job.
I need money. So, but it was cool just like having that where... And that's where, like I've talked about before, just that the way that company values their people, and it seems like yours is the same way. They see us more as people than they do just numbers,
which is huge in my book.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
I mean, my boss knows all of us by name, and like knows all of our hobbies, everything.
Mm-hmm. I love it, man. It's every time that I've ever just gone in to talk, or just to figure some stuff out, like with pay or whatever. You know, the owner, the early owners are still there, which is my two bosses' parents. It's very family. And mom handles the pay and everything like that. And I'll ask her questions and she'll clarify shit for me, blah, blah, blah. And she'll always ask me, like, on a real level, like, is that going to work for you? And I've never delved any farther than that. I don't know if I could ever ask any more of that, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever that situation is I appreciate it, but I don't think I want to go there.
Yeah, for a company that's already, you know, doing everything for you, it's hard to ask for more.
They bend a lot for me, and I had to do it again. My son's soccer practices are going to be on some Thursdays that his mom can't get him to, So she asked me to deal with it. They start at 5 when I'm off. So I went in there and I flat out just told the 2 bosses. We're all cordial and everybody laughs and everything. I said, listen, I know I'm already princess around here, but I need more help. I'm sorry. I got to do this. I apologize, but I need this time. And he was like, well, just figure it out as soon as you can ahead of time. And 2 days, not 2 hours. I was like, I'll do my damnedest.
So what about 10 minutes?
Yeah. Well, she just told me, so actually I got to go. No.
I know I'm in the middle of this call, but we're going to just leave this car sitting here.
Yeah. I'm going to get somebody else out here now. No, but man, it's we do fucking hard jobs, but I'm thankful that the companies are at least on our side this time.
Yeah.
For everything that you and I are trying to accomplish outside of it, it's nice that people understand. Because my boss told me the same fucking thing as yours. He's like, if your stuff and your side business starts paying you more than what you're making here, I fully expect you to not stay here.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, I wasn't even ready to have that conversation, but I'm glad you get it. Fuck. So it's nice to like have an adult on the other side of the desk, you know.
Well, and what helps with your company is it is that mom and pop type of company. Yeah. So they're all living the dream that we're trying to accomplish right now. So they understand.
I actually never thought about it that way, but I mean, realistically speaking, they've done it.
Yeah, they've been sitting in the shoes that we're sitting in right now, trying to figure out how they're going to, one, how they're going to get their start, and 2, how they're going to get it to take off.
Right.
So.
And their mom, our mom, one of the original owners, used to run tow trucks back in the day. They've been around for 40 fucking years. And she used to run it too.
So well, yeah, when you start out like that, I mean, you got to be
like
operator and owner and everything.
You're a fucking badass, Mom. God damn it. She's like, I don't know anything about the trucks nowadays. I'm like, I bet you can still run circles around me. I don't want to hear it.
One of them situations where you're like, I don't really want to call and say I don't know how to pick this car up because she's going to be like, hey, stupid.
I will never make that phone call. Between them, my dispatcher, and her, nope. I will not be calling.
I'm going to figure this the fuck out right now.
Yeah. It was actually kind of strange the other day. I actually had to say no to a double on the simple fact that there was an accident and I didn't even know there was another truck involved, first of all.
Oh.
Didn't know there was another truck. And the cop came over and he goes, hey, I got another truck over here. You going to be able to take that too? I was like, where? I'm trying to get this car unstuck that's sitting 6 inches from going into the canal.
Oh, nice.
And its control arm is broke, so I'm trying to get it off the fucking cement curb to come up and onto my bed. And it's like, no, I don't want to.
You didn't want to go fishing?
I wasn't into it. So I was like, I'll get another truck coming. He goes, don't worry about it. I'll call your dispatcher. Then she calls me. Hey, you can't double? And I was like, I don't know, Becca. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using real names. Fuck. I don't know. I haven't even seen it. She goes, oh, it's a Silverado. I'm like, okay, I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's fucked up or...
Yeah, I don't know the condition.
The Silverado does not help me. It still has to be fucked up in the correct way for me to tow it. And
because to go double, you got to put one on Stinger, right?
Yep. And yeah. the caliber was not. It went over 2 medians, a sign, and was trapped next to a canal. No.
You could put that on the Stinger. Come on now.
Both rears broken off, but...
Just drag it.
We'll figure it out.
Sparks in Arizona don't cause any issue in the summer.
It was kind of shitty because the Silverado was like... it still ran and drove. It's like, fuck, well, I just wanted to get it done. Only time I've ever had to say no. That's probably not true, but it happens so rarely. That was fun. I haven't even seen it. What do you mean? I don't know what it looks like.
I don't know where it's at.
I didn't know there was another vehicle involved here. Judging by the way this one looks, that one can't be pretty.
Who parked that one over there?
She just drove it. Fuck. God damn it. It's all right. What is there any I don't know what the question is here. Is there anything, like, one job at your work that's more terrible to deal with than another part of it? Like, I don't know what I'm asking, so I don't know what your job entails. I know you build these fucking things.
Well, I wouldn't say build because they're all old.
It's like Legos.
Huh?
You just repair them?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so we order from like oh fuck.
Oh, fuck. That's not a company.
I know we used to order from Acton, but I don't think they're even in business anymore. I think the most recent ones we just got so until this year, our newest building in our fleet was like an '07.
Holy fuck knuckles.
So
So
they're old.
To give the listeners a little bit of context about what you actually do, because I don't think we've ever actually talked about it. If you've ever driven by
Construction site.
construction
mainly.
site, yeah, that's all fenced off and everything, and you see those big gray trailers that are all parked. If it's one, then there's just one there. If there's several, then it's a bunch of 40-foot trailers parked there together.
It looks like an office building.
He repairs them. That's his company. Manufactures, repairs, and distributes them. Well, I don't know if you do distribute. Doesn't matter. He fixes them.
Yeah.
When they come back from construction and transport, he gets to deal with all the little bullshit that went wrong.
Yeah. Or, all the big bullshit because the customer decided they didn't want to let us know that the roof had been leaking for the last 2 years. And so
They fix it on their own, right?
No, they just let it leak.
They just let it leak.
For like 2 years.
It's
and
only it's only wood. It doesn't rot.
Yeah, so the roof's fucked, the floor's fucked. It's fine. I mean, we've had them come back where
I like soft spots.
I don't like soft spots on the tongue. So on the front of those buildings, you got, depending on the building.
Yeah, those hitches are fucking weird, by the way.
They are. They're very weird.
Yeah.
So your front bumper that you have, that the hitch is mounted to.
Yeah.
What is above that front bumper that the bumper is actually mounted to is, depending on which building it is, it's either a single 2x6 or two 2x6s. That's all that's holding that front end together.
I have noticed how very questionable those tongues look, because you see the frame, the C channel,
Yeah.
that goes back to the front of the office, and it just ends. I'm like, what do you mean? There's just like two bolts, two wood screws held in. We're good.
So
Fine.
The front bumper is literally held on with 4 lag bolts.
Well, that's not much better than what I just said.
Into a 2x6.
Great.
So yeah, I have seen those 2x6s, if they're rotted, because all the weight of that building is sitting on that 2x6. As soon as you go to pick them up, the hitch will just crumble.
So my next question is, how light are these things?
They're supposed to be around 12,000 pounds.
That's not light.
We've had a couple, we had a triple wide that was craned into one of the female prisons. And the crane operator said it's a good thing you guys ordered an oversized crane. Each piece, so again, it was a triple wide, each piece was 18,000 pounds.
Oof. Triple wide. So that's a left, right, and a center?
Yep.
Really? I didn't know they made those.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we've got, if you go up the I-17, up near Sunset Point,
Yeah.
where they're doing all that putting in all the new rest stops and everything up there.
In the median, yeah.
Well, if you're going north, if you look on the east side, there's, I think, a 15 wide sitting up there.
Fuck. I'm like...
So these trailers are 60 feet long, 12 foot wide, and there's 15 of them. So you figure that's 15 times 12, whatever that is, long.
I clearly
wide,
don't know enough about
yeah.
these fucking things.
You can basically go as wide as you want. You can just, we just got to find the buildings to be able to do so.
Right.
So I think we're still in the process of getting it. We're trying to get our actual reconstruct license with Arizona, to where if we need to make like a 20 wide and there's not one available in the company for us to grab, we can literally just take buildings and put them together and start cutting walls off.
So that's like a full on fucking... I mean, that's literally like 3 of this.
Yeah.
No, it's probably more like 7 of this. I guess this is a tiny house.
Well, so yeah, that's the easiest way for like people to understand that don't pay attention when they drive past like construction sites and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
is all of like your manufactured homes, they're basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just instead of being laid out for a house, it's laid out for an office. So standard layout of a 60-foot trailer, a 60 by 12, is two 12-foot offices and then a big conference room in the middle.
So is this anything like the containers that I work with? Not so much.
I mean, we do some containers. We have office containers, but our main focus is buildings, and it's way different.
Because that's like the only true reference that I have when you talk about repairing them and shit. Is I see the guys, like I see them in there welding up holes and shit and repairing walls from people dragging them on shit and
No, so like
sticking forks through them.
so we have certain times, and we call it tenant improvement work.
Mm-hmm.
So we have certain times that customers will request, they want 6 offices in this trailer instead of our standard layout. So
I didn't even think about that. They actually have fucking like full on rooms.
yeah, so I go in there and I literally will build all the walls
Oh
to
no.
put. So that's why I was saying, if when you wanted to build this,
Mm-hmm.
this I could have had all the framing done in like 30 minutes.
Whatever, dude.
The shed that I showed you that I had built,
Yeah.
when we were talking about all this, I showed up, I framed that entire shed and had it sitting in an hour. And the guy looked at me and he was like, "You're charging me $500 and it only took you an hour?" I was like, "You're not paying me for my time. You're paying me for knowing how to do this."
Right. Because now I just got all your shit done in quicker time than anybody else.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. You fucking asshole.
So it's one of those where once you learn how to do it, it's not hard. I mean, the manual side of it, yes, it's hard work, but as far as like the mental side of it and just knowing how to do it, it's easy work. So
I'm doing a little bit of R&D so I can get some visual on this bitch.
I mean, I got pictures I can show you, but
Did I spell it wrong?
nope, you're right. Yep, there's one.
Ooh, that's a fancy. Ooh, girl. I like that. I like the fucking wheelchair ramp.
Yeah, so we call that a switchback ramp. So, and it's just literally because it goes backwards.
You guys have like a model yard and shit?
No.
Specialty toilet trailers.
Yep.
You got ones with shitters in them now?
Oh yeah.
Blast resistant modules. Explain that to me. I'm sure there's definitely a reasonable reason for it, but in my head, that don't feel right.
I feel like that's just your containers.
Blast resistant. It's probably for like the mines and shit. Which, believe it or not, I frequent.
So do we.
I hate it.
We
I hate going out to the mines.
We hate when they come back.
Bet you they look and smell like shit too.
Oh, the mines destroy them. Or you get one back from the dairy. Oh.
Portable sales. I dealt with a lot of those.
So the sales offices, yeah. So the difference with the sales office is it just has a porch.
No, that's where all the salesmen stare at you like a fucking crow. Bitch. Modular complexes. 1,000 square feet. Dude, that is literally almost as big as my house.
Yep.
Yes, folks, I have a tiny house.
and
I'm trying to survive, okay?
And it says greater than 1,000. So that's like, for those complexes, that's what it starts out at. So, because your complexes, it's going to be your double wides and bigger.
Portable classrooms. Unfortunately, grew up in those.
I'm pretty sure most of us have.
Well, that makes me feel better. All elementary school was in portable classrooms. The essentials.
But they actually do sell units too. So it's not just rentals. We'll actually sell units.
Look at that. That's a nice-ass office.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to get something like that.
Anyway, god damn. That one's got 2 bathrooms. Bunch of cubicles.
Yeah, so that right there that you're looking at, that's 1, 2, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's six wide.
You guys work with Mobile Mini?
We are merged with Mobile Mini now, yeah.
Mm.
That happened.
Does that piss your dad off?
It fully happened last year.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
You know the story behind my dad's company, right?
ProBox? I gotta stop doing that. Yeah.
So the owner of my dad's company used to be one of the higher ups at Mobile Mini.
Used to.
Used to.
What happened?
So it depends on who you talk to. Some people say he got fired. Some people say he quit. So I don't know what actually happened, but he left and decided he was just going to start his own container company.
Hmm.
And I think they're in 4 different states now.
Roblox? Is it doing okay?
Yeah.
Those they just they deal with little 10-footers, right?
They deal with everything.
Okay, on the little pickups?
Well, they don't do the 550s no more.
Okay.
That's
all I remember.
Well, my dad would do 40s on the 550.
Oh my god, 40-footers?
Yeah.
How?
What do you mean how?
No. I don't know. I can't see it. I don't know.
It's not. You're not loading it onto the bed of the truck. With the 550 that they were running, it was on a portable axle. So the axle was under a remote control.
Start with that.
And so it was a custom built truck specifically for that type of work.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would use the stinger and you would hook into the ISO pockets, and you would lift the front up, and then you would set jack stands about midway, and then you would drop the front to pick the ass end up.
And it just levels out.
And then, well, you would run it. Literally, the axles were on remote control. You would drive the axle underneath, and then lift back up, and it would set down on the axle. You pull your jack stands out, and you set level, and you just drive off.
I lied. I gotta have a talk with my boss. This is bullshit.
We need new trucks. But my dad's boss got rid of him because he got weary of all the legality of it.
There's a lot of legality there.
Because you don't have your rear bumper, or your, I forget what they call it, but like on your semi trailers, how you have the rear bumper that's supposed to be for crashes to help,
like the landing gear.
Yeah, to help not decapitate people if they rear end you.
Oh yeah. It's like they're called DOT bars.
Yeah, that. So
those.
Obviously, with just picking up a container in that scenario, you don't have a DOT bar.
I'll be honest with you. I've never heard them described in that sense, so the people don't get decapitated.
I mean, that's what they're for.
Cool. It makes sense. I get it. That's why I've pulled cars out of trucks, and they stop in front of the windshield.
Yep.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Somebody was thinking.
It was after somebody got decapitated.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was definitely a handful of people that were already fucked.
But like, there was one time my dad actually got rear-ended with a container on the back, and so they tried I think it was the insurance company or something, tried suing, saying that they didn't have the DOT bars, and so it did turn into like this big old thing, and the judges ended up ruling that they're not required since it's not actually truly a trailer.
Right.
It's being dollied.
Yeah, that's unfair.
And so the trucks were legal, and it was all legal and everything, but his boss just started getting iffy about it, so he was like, yeah, we're going to go back to rollbacks.
When things start getting like questionable, that's when it's time to make the change before something bad happens.
100%.
So, yeah, that's a smart business choice.
So he sold all those trucks back to the guy that makes them, and
guy was like, what the fuck? I don't want them all.
And they went to I think they're running brand new Peterbilt rollbacks now.
Still for Pro Box?
Yep.
Black and green? Well, green.
Gray and green.
I've never seen one, but I'll keep an eye out. Don't mind me, folks. Now you guys get to see my drinking habits on the show. I'm responsible. It's fine.
So, but yeah, it was cool because when they got the first 550, my dad was the first one in it, and
I remember he was super excited, and
he did the whole demo video to show how the truck actually worked. Like, he's in the video if you look it up on YouTube.
Nice.
He's the one demoing the truck, and then it was funny because when the boss was like, "All right, this is your truck. Go get it registered," because the truck wasn't even registered yet.
Is that why he got to take it home and all that?
Well, he took it home because most of his pickups and stuff, he stays on West Valley most of the time, and the yard's in the East Valley. So it made no sense for him to run all the way over there, and so it just saved it saved the company money, and two, it saved him money. So it was kind of a win-win. But when he went to go register the truck, so like I said, they're custom-built trucks from this one guy, I think in California or something like that. And my dad said when he went to go register the truck, the VIN hadn't even been registered with the DMV.
That happens more often than it should.
And because the truck went straight from Ford to that guy that builds them. And it never went to a dealership, and the dealership is who registers it with the DMV when they receive it. So it never went to a dealership. It went straight from that guy straight from Ford to that guy.
Whoops.
To my dad's company. So my dad had to gather all this other paperwork to take to the DMV to show them that it was an actual truck.
It's real. I promise.
This truck exists.
That's a lot of times when we pick up new shit, like newer shit. I say new in the sense that it was literally brand new when somebody purchased it. Still has temp tags and shit like that. The VIN won't populate in our system, nor will it populate in the cop system. So it's like, it's not real.
Well, it's like when I was selling cars, there was a Corvette got wrecked right in front of our dealership
Oh boy.
on the test drive.
Oh,
They were literally on a test drive, got T-boned. And it was quite interesting because everybody's standing there like, okay, we don't know what to do at this point.
right.
Like,
Not really sure what just happened. I was thinking about this actually this morning. I was in the 17 to the 101 transfer lane.
yeah.
Pretty sure there was a giant accident right behind me because my lane stopped, and then all of a sudden I saw a table fly. I'm not sure where a table came from, but it flew in the lane next to me, and I saw like a bunch of dust and smoke. I was like, well, somebody just got fucking plowed. And then somebody else hit the table. I don't want the fucking table. The fucking table. I don't know where it came from.
I mean, at least it wasn't a piece of plywood.
Yeah. But I was thinking about it to myself, and it sucks. And I can't speak for any other state, probably California, but man, out here, the chances of getting hit by somebody that has insurance
Oh my god.
is literally like 50-50.
Yeah. 100%.
So this is why when people want to act all fucking Brody while they're driving and shit, and they want to start road rage, I'm like, you really sure you want to go down this road? Like not me, but I'm like, if whoever I'm with is driving and they start doing dumb shit, starting shit with other people, I'm like, why? What do you like? You probably don't want to do this.
Yeah.
This is gonna end up being your ass. And I don't want to. I try to be proactive enough where I just don't get involved in accidents at all. I don't want to. Like, what? They're either gonna run or offer you cash.
And it's too much of a headache. I mean, even
It's
if
a
they
huge headache.
even if they do have insurance, it's a huge headache. And like,
People want to act all fucking cool about it, like they got what they deserve. I'm like, yeah, but now you're gonna spend a month and a half fighting to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do with your car. You're gonna go time without having a fucking rental. I guarantee it.
100%.
You're gonna make phone calls while you're at work. Fuck that.
And like, so say my situation, it's 60 miles ish
Mhm.
round trip or one way for me. So 120 miles round trip.
You'd be fucked.
Like, when I got rear-ended pulling out of a shopping center, and I straight told the guy, I was like, look, if you just want to pay cash for it, we'll call it good. Like, because it's a small dent. Like, you said you don't have an accident or anything on your record. So if you just want to pay cash for it and just, call it good, we'll call it good. Like, because I can't afford to be out of a car, to be completely honest with you.
Right, yeah, this is more trouble than it's worth.
And he was like, no, we need to go through insurance. I was like, all right, whatever. And so I told his insurance company, I was like, look, I'll drop it off at your preferred body shop. And the only reason I'm willing to do that is because usually your preferred body shop has a rental car company built into it.
Yes.
And they better have that rental car ready before I even fucking show up.
Yeah, I don't want to do this 3-hour thing.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, I understand that people don't think rationally in a moment of, like, road rage or frustration. I get that, but you gotta try. You have to try. I promise you it's fucking worth it.
Well, that was like when I was getting my hair cut earlier. The lady cutting my hair, she was like...
Speaking of which, it looks good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
She was like, how how do you not get upset driving on that much on that freeway, on the freeways? And I was like, well, I try to avoid the freeways as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, how would you do that? Especially during like rush hour and everything. I was like, you get off the freeway.
You just don't. It's literally the same time. In the morning, it takes the same amount of time anywhere else.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't. I still do the whole. I give myself plenty of cushion, which nobody else seems to fucking understand because everybody else wants that space.
Well, yeah, you got to be the first one to the red light. Come on now.
I know. I noticed. I've done it to where I look down at people. I'm like, God, hey, I saw you again. Sorry you were in a hurry.
Or the time somebody tries to, they pass you and they jump in and out of lanes, and then you end up just passing them, and you're still sitting in the same lane,
cruising on by.
Like, oh hey,
yeah.
Bye.
Was it worth it? No, but that shit, man, it's fucking not worth it at all. Like, not the interactions, not the shops, not the rentals, not the money. It's bullshit.
Oh yeah, way too much of a fucking headache.
Yep.
And like, there's people at my work that they fucking live for that shit.
Oh.
Like they hope to get hit, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the chiropractor like 3 times a week and rack up all these bills and get. I'm like, bro, that's way too much fucking effort.
It is literally too much effort.
Like,
and besides the fact you don't even know how much of that you're gonna end up paying for it because you're gonna pay for some of it. I fucking guarantee it. Well, it's all gonna be on their insurance. I'm like, good luck with that. I got hit on my motorcycle and it wasn't all covered. Legally, it wasn't all covered. I have friends like that in my life too, and sometimes they've even started shit while I'm driving, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Now I got to deal with this.
I'm the one behind the wheel.
Right.
Shut your mouth.
Stop. Unless you want to walk. No, it's definitely one of those things. Like, you just have to be slightly more proactive and try to just think a little bit more rationally than the next guy.
Yeah.
And I definitely believe in that shit. It's hard, don't get me wrong, and it takes away from your pride and your ego, and I fucking don't like it either, but the thing is
also comes down to that defensive driving, and I mean, it also keeps the blood pressure low.
Yeah, I was looking at my watch just a second ago. Apparently my heart rate got a little bit high.
Getting a little heated over there?
my watch was like, hey, breathe, big guy. Breathe.
Relax.
Take a deep breath. Margarita.
It'll be okay.
We're not even driving right now, dude. Take a deep breath.
I know you're sitting and you just think you're driving when you're sitting, but you're not driving.
Woosah. Yeah, that shit was funny. I was like, oh, that's not good. Hopefully that's not from today. It's, I think, it's kind of a weird branch off, but I think it's something that's worth talking about. But thinking rationally throughout your days.
Yeah.
Trying to just be a little bit more active in your own activities could potentially save your ass in a lot of different situations.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I mean, from anything, if take it from a safety aspect or even just a, general making life less hectic or however you want to word it.
It keeps the headaches away, man.
And if you just think about what you're doing before you do it, it makes things so much nicer.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And then especially like in lines of work like you and I have physically labor-intensive jobs, you just don't know when that's going to count.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I
Oh, God. Starts giggling.
A couple weeks ago. So, a lot of guys at work, they've noticed that I'll do a job once the way they want us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll sit back and I'll reassess it afterwards. And I'll be like, hey, I'm going to try it this way next time. And I'll even go and I'll run it by the big boss. And, sometimes he'll be like, well, let's call safety. Like our big corporate head of safety.
Mm-hmm.
And so I run it by him. And they're like, yeah, I don't see any issues with that safety-wise. So, yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
And so we were replacing a roof a couple weeks ago on a trailer, which we do TPO roofing, which is just a giant roll of fiberglass roofing.
Ew.
It's like a rubberized fiberglass. It's really fucking weird, but
It's fucking awkward.
but it's super heavy. It's very awkward. Like to move the roll, it takes 4 guys.
Oh God.
And we used to use an EPDM roofing, which is just rubber.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is that like similar to like a camper roof?
no,
No. Okay.
maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. Moving on.
But so with like your EPDM roofing, I could move the roll myself.
It's a lot lighter.
Yes. But it's hard to get a hold of, and it doesn't hold up as well out here because it's rubber.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
fucking hot.
Just dries it out and cracks it up.
So we switched over to the TPO, and it's very similar to layout. It's just a lot heavier and a lot stiffer. And I was training 3 other guys on how to lay a roof. And I told them, I was like, hey, we roll it all out. Like, we roll it flat on the roof before we glue it down. And then roll up half of it, glue it, roll that half back out, roll up the other half, glue it, and roll that half back out.
It's pretty simple.
Well, they're like, well, why don't we just fold it in half? And I was like, you go ahead and try.
Good luck.
Mind you, again, it's a 64-foot building.
And that shit's that roll. I can see what they're trying to do in my head.
They wanna just fold it backwards.
Yeah, they just want to tarp it backwards.
Yeah.
And it's not that light.
And so they got it tarped back. They glue it. So they get all the glue laid. And now they're trying to figure out how to flip it back over. Because you can't just walk on the glue and pull it back.
Nope.
And so now they're trying to figure out how to take this 32-foot piece of roofing
and
lay it back down.
If they catch a spot where it fucking bunches up, it's going to just stick.
Oh, yeah, because the glue's already tacky.
Yeah.
Like
So it's just going to stick with a giant fucking hump in it. How you going to fix that? Smart guy.
And so they got half the roof down, and it, just like you said, had a bunch of waves and everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at them, I was like, that's cool. Like, and they're like, what do you mean? I was like, it looks like the Pacific Ocean.
I didn't know we could put waves in it like that.
And they're like, well, how would you have done it? I was like, the way that I told you to.
Roll it.
And so on the other half, I rolled it, laid the glue, and you're rolling it out as you're laying the glue, so the glue's not tacky. So if you need to make adjustments, you can. And then I get it all laid out, and they're like, wow, that's really smooth. And I was like, well, yeah. I was like, now have fun ripping up your other half and then roll it up properly and fix it, because we can't send it out like that, because that's going to hold water, which will create leaks.
My favorite fucking comment for shit like that. That's my first time. I got lucky. I don't know. Never done this before. It just seemed good.
I've only worked here for 3 years. It's fine.
I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing. Not a big deal. God. Oh yeah. I just think it's not really relevant to anything, but one of the funniest things I get to hear is when I pick up containers that are at a stupid angle.
Oh, yeah.
Or I have to drag them, or I have to drag my truck under it, and I like turn my wheels so that way the truck drags sideways under the. There's always some old timer watching me, and they just stand there and they just. Then I'll get it all loaded up on my bed, hit my air brakes again so the truck stays still, and fucking start tying it down. They always the same comment. Can you guess what it is? You've done this a couple of times, haven't you? You know.
My
assholes.
My dad gets a kick out of it because, like, so, like when we were bird hunting, he took Friday off to go bird hunting on opening day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, usually the way it sounds is his company tries to have the person that delivered the container pick the container back up, just because it's easier. You know how you got it in there.
I was going to say, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, one of the other drivers called my dad, and he's like, how'd you get this in here?
Fuck.
And my dad's like, you can't look at it and figure out how to get it out?
It's part of your job.
And he's like, well, I don't even see how you would have been able to get it in here. There's like power lines. And my dad's like, I can promise you I'd never have power lines moved. So if there's power lines, I got it in there around the power lines. So you can figure it out. And like, that's one of the things me and my dad talk about all the time is people don't think outside of the box anymore.
Dude.
If you can't do it the way the book says you should be able to do it,
mm-hmm.
then they can't figure it out.
Or if it's not directly applicable,
Yeah.
like if it's not just set in stone for you, then yeah.
If you can't back straight up to the box and pick it up and drag it on your bed, then they can't figure it out.
It's a big fucking problem, especially for us. I'll get to boxes. Sometimes it'll be completely sideways, shoved in a hole, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Up against the curb in a new development. And they always say, well, how are you going to get it? I'm like, I don't know. I'll just drag it out. I'll drag it out sideways. I'll do what I will figure it out. Let me start pulling on it and see what she does. Are you going to leave marks in the asphalt? Well, yeah, I can't get in front of it.
The one that irritated my dad the most, he dropped a box off and nothing was built yet. When he went to go pick it up, they had just poured concrete the day before.
Oh, God.
Around it.
Oh, yes.
And my dad and they were like, you can't crack the concrete. And my dad's like, well, then you're going to need to get something to get it out of there so that I can get it.
Why don't you get a forklift out here then?
And they were like, well, can you come back tomorrow? And so he had to come back the next day so that they could get, well, one, they had to move all the shit that was around it.
Yep.
And then they had to get a forklift to move it so that my dad could actually pick it up.
Mm-hmm. I feel his frustrations way too well. Oh, man, there's not a whole lot of people that can understand half this episode.
Nope.
I think we should probably label this one Special Edition Work Bitch. Because that's all it was. There's some good, insightful things. Be rational. Think logically. Do you really need this pain in the ass?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, even what we were just talking about, I mean, you can apply that to anything. If you just think outside of the box, you know, you get yourself into a pickle.
Mm-hmm.
If you start trying to think out of the box, you'll find a way to get out of it. You know, don't look at everything as black and white, cut in stone.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a work on your problem solving. Sometimes it's a little bit better. One of my favorite kind of analogies for something like this would be, I guess, I hope this is fucking true because it sounded good. But they say, like, for somebody, I have an eye prescription. It's a weak one because my vision is not that bad. But they say when you strain your eyes, when you put your eyes to work, when you look at stuff that's in the distance constantly, if you're constantly looking out at a view and, you know, observing far things away, it helps your vision heal.
Huh.
If you can connect the dots and say, you know, look outside of what's right in front of you. Look around a little bit. Try and figure things out, and it'll strengthen your problem solving.
Yeah, I mean,
can we connect those dots?
I mean, I could see where you're trying to go there.
Yeah, it felt good in the beginning. It came out like shit.
It's one of those of just don't be tunnel visioned.
Yeah,
look out and look around.
Don't be tunnel vision. Yeah, there's always ways to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Wow. Should definitely ended on that. That was pretty fucking terrible. I'm sorry. Anything else you'd like to add before we close out?
I don't think so. I think this one's been a little all over the place again.
Special edition work rant. That's where it's going. It's a Monday, and it's time for margaritas. Yeah? Yeah. Let me get...
Just remember, it's only Monday morning, Mr. Mom.
What? What?
Never mind.
Okay.
Over your head.
I was like, I don't want it. Oh, God, it shows me. Oh, what the fuck?
Just hit the red button.
Anyway. Say it a million times. I'll say it a million times over. Like, click, and follow all the things, whether you're subscribed on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. Give it a like, follow. You will get updates from us about new merch, new events, and stay tuned for everything involving November because that's going to be a big month for us. So thank you for tuning in for another episode, and welcome to the fucking live feed. Bye.
Later.